Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Neo Farah and today we're going to talk about Advanced Tag Questions Part 2. In this video, the second part, we're going to talk about negative adverb frequency, opinions like I think and I don't think, and can you versus can't you in tag questions. And as you know, in the previous part, we talked about a brief review about tag questions and intonation. If you haven't watched part 1 already, please go there and watch it, then watch the second part because you need to know the basics of tag questions in order to understand further parts. And in the next parts, because I think we would have 4 parts, maybe 5. No, 4. I think 4 is good. Double positive, indefinite pronouns, ain't and in it, about accents. Don't make this mistake. Also, I want to add something about universal tags. But negative adverbs of frequency. In part 1, we talked about how we form a tag question. For example, in this video, in this part, you can say, you are a teacher, aren't you? Positive, negative, negative, positive. She isn't a doctor, is she? But what if we use a negative adverb of frequency? What are they? They show how often we use something or we do something. For example, always, sometimes, often, hardly ever, rarely, usually, never. But we're talking about those which have a negative meaning. She never reads books. What does it mean? She never reads books. Doesn't it mean she doesn't read books? Can't we understand at least, say, it is close to this meaning that she doesn't read books? So we have a negative meaning, at least a negative understanding about this sentence. This and here. So when our adverb of frequency have a negative meaning, we call them negative adverbs of frequency. For example, never, hardly, hardly ever, rarely, barely, scarcely, seldom, and many more things. When we use negative adverbs of frequency, our sentences will get a negative meaning. Therefore, we use a positive tag, means our main clauses are no longer positive and we consider them as negative clauses. So we use positive tags. That's interesting, right? She never reads books, does she? He's never late, is he? You hardly ever watch soccer, do you? They have seldom done their assignments, have they? And I was never rude to you, was I? Now opinions. I think he's a doctor. What should we write? Don't I? I think he's a doctor, don't I? I mean, isn't it ridiculous because you're asking yourself? That's meaningless. Unless you're crazy, so you're not. So we can't say, I think he's a doctor, don't I? So what can we do? We make the tag based on the clause after I think. In this case, I think he is a doctor, isn't he? More examples. I think they are late, aren't they? I don't think he's a good actor, is he? In this case, the main clause is negative. I don't think. You have a negative opinion about someone. So we use a positive tag. I don't think he's a good actor. Is he? I think we will get there on time, won't we? I don't think she can pass her exams, can she? And I think I think David could. Is here is extra. My bad, sorry. I think David could be a good comedian. Couldn't he? Now about this topic. When can't is used in an imperative tag question, it generally implies irritation or frustration on the part of the speaker. On the other hand, when can is used in an imperative tag question, it can convey a more neutral or polite tone, and it often seeks agreement or confirmation. For example, we say, be quiet, can you? It's like, be quiet, can you? For example, you're studying for English, you're studying math, whatever you say. Please turn off the TV. Turn off the TV, can you? But, for example, your brother, he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all, and he just watching, for example, some cartoon. And say, turn off the TV, can't you? Now you're frustrated. Now you're angry. about something. Or normally we have this, for example, shut up, can't you? For example, he's speaking, he said in the library, he's speaking, he said, come on, please be quiet, I'm studying. But they don't care. So, shut up, can't you? Or, oh my god, stop speaking loudly, can't you? It's like this when you're angry. However, the tone and intention of the speaker can vary depending on the context of the conversation and the relationship between the speaker and the listener. For example, you're talking to your boss, you would never tell him, shut up, can't you? So, relationship is important. For example, to your parent, to your teacher, you would never tell them, for example, oh my god, stop speaking loudly, can't you? You would never say that. So, it depends on the situation. Also, in written English, like you're chatting with your friends, you can use a question mark, question mark, and an exclamation mark to express the feeling for can't. As you can see after can't, question mark plus exclamation mark. For example, subscribe, can't you? I'm joking, I'm not frustrated, but please subscribe, okay? Well, wait for part 3. That was actually everything about today's video. And you can download the free PDF. This slide as a PDF for free. Just check my website, www.englishwithnimafred.com, and download this slideshow as a PDF for free. Okay? And please subscribe and wait for part 3. So, thank you and goodbye.